Welcome to westernslope.now.com. Meteorologist Russ Pappas here. Take a look at this just at the 4 o'clock hour on December 16th. That's the moon. That's the moon rising. And we're going to head into a clear night, but we're going to see some clouds building in around the midnight hour. We actually have a tail end of a storm system that's going to be passing through the northern portion of the state. More on that in just a moment. So far, high temperatures today, they're pretty close to the averages for this time of the year. Grand Junction, Montrose typically hit the 38-degree mark, and that's just where we are. Sun goes down at 4:50-ish, so this is it for the day. We've got another 50 minutes. We're not going to get any warmer than this. Current temperatures slightly cooled, but then you factor in the wind, and instead of the upper 30s, we're about 10 degrees cooler in some instances because of that 5 to 10 mile per hour clip in some areas. So wind chill definitely a factor. Wind speeds should not top out greater than the 15 to 20 mile per hour zone as we continue through your Thursday, the Friday, and getting into the upcoming weekend. Same wind profile, just not a lot of it. So thankfully we got rid of the strongest wind gusts. National Weather Service upgraded the top wind gust yesterday for Grand Junction to 55 instead of 54 miles per hour. And as you recall, previous conversation with me, that occurred just after the midnight hour into the wee hours of Thursday morning, I should say Wednesday morning. So with that being the case, that sets a new top wind gust record for Grand Junction for the month of December. Woof. Hopefully we won't be dealing with any more wind, and we shouldn't. But part of the snow that's going to be falling tonight in the northern mountain zones on the Colorado-Wyoming border will have the element of wind, 35 mile per hour winds, so that'll create some blowing snow issues. That is a winter weather advisory that got extended from 8 a.m. tomorrow through noon tomorrow. So we should get some snow falling tonight. Probably close to the midnight hour, maybe a little bit earlier for the Rabbit Ears Pass area. So if you're traveling through the Highway 40 area, please be careful. It's going to be wintry. And by default, we'll see some of that snow falling in the central mountain zones, but the bullseye is going to be right there straddling the Wyoming-Colorado border. But the further south you go, the lower the snow totals will be. We could get a little bit. Powderhorn woke up with 2 to 3 new inches of snow today. That fell after they cleared the snow stake Wednesday, so that was Wednesday totals and a little bit into Wednesday night. But outside of that, I think Powderhorn may only walk away with a dusting of 1, maybe 2 inches of new. But you could see it's there on the Grand Mesa. Much further south than that, the Uncompahgre Plateau, mostly in Montrose County, but a southern portion of Mesa County. There's some snow flurries possible at the 7,500 feet elevation, then again above 9,000 feet on the Grand Mesa. And as this transitions through the midnight hour, it comes pretty close to the city of Montrose. So certainly if you're traveling between Montrose and Gunnison at midnight, you're going to encounter some snow, especially over Cerro Summit and along the Blue Mesa Reservoir. And you can see that's exactly why Montrose holds on to a slight chance of snow showers early Friday morning. Temperatures in the early morning hours, well, we're going to have some clearing throughout the day on Friday, so it should be cold. Not colder than we were this morning. Average low temperature, Grand Junction this time of the year, 18. Montrose at 16. Minus readings in the Gunnison Valley. That's something we're getting used to because it is chilly, and now that we're keeping snow on the valley floor in the Gunnison region, we're going to continue to deal with these inversions where it's warmer, higher in the elevations, like around Crested Butte, for example. Tomorrow afternoon, mid-20s for Gunnison, upper 30s for Grand Junction Delta. Still a little bit cold, again, reflective of the snow on the ground. Still, especially north-facing yards around Montrose, so there's some cold air around the area of Montrose, and that's what we're going to be contending with. Carrying through the extended period, the system, the bigger impact for Grand Junction and Montrose with this little system, the tail end of it, by the way, passing by to our north, barely hitting those mountain zones with up to 8 to 10 inches of snow, 3 to 5 along Pitkin and Eagle County, less than 5 up on the Grand Mesa. Not much for the San Juans, if any. The bigger impacts for the system is going to be the colder temperatures. So while Friday afternoon we hit the seasonal average, Saturday, both low and high, we're going to go chillier. Sunday, our morning low, about the seasonal average. Well, slightly colder, I should say. And that slightly colder low will continue through the middle of next week, at least through the winter solstice. The afternoons, however, Sunday through the middle of next week, have a bit of a warming pattern to them. So not greater than 5 degrees warmer. And I cannot feel the difference between 38 and 43. But 35 and 44, yeah, I think that's a difference. So we're going to have the weekend dry, mostly clear. The winter solstice, warm, dry, mostly clear. That's Tuesday, December 21st, by the way. Models have been indicating late next week, anywhere from the 22nd through the 25th. And I'm starting to fine-tune this pattern. There's not a lot of agreement on late next week pattern. There is a storm system. There is going to be some unsettled weather for the western third of the United States. I think we may end up being dry, but there's a chance that we'll have snow falling on or around December 25th, which I think is very important for a lot of people. It's a seasonal celebration. One would argue that the solstice is a much bigger celebration, but December 24th and 25th, we could see a round of unsettled weather. Right now, the models are just too, they're not in agreement, if you will. I'm seeing some models that show storms bypassing us and we end up dry and mild. I'm also seeing other models that indicate December 24th storms. Yet other models don't have that storm coming through until December 25th. So what I'm trying to say to you is that there's a lot of uncertainty with that late next week unsettled pattern. So in the meantime, try to stay warm.